G'day, hello, and how you going? Today I'm going to be talking about the things that I want to read in March. And we're getting ambitious in March. I'm hoping to hit up 6 different books, which is a pretty big improvement considering February I only got through 3. So I feel like I let you down and I owe you for this month. I'm going hard, which is going to be difficult because I'm the best man at my friend's wedding this month. So I don't know how I'm going to fit it all in, but I'm going to do it. I promise you. So what I've actually started doing in recent times, especially now that I'm doing a lot more content, I find that I'm a little bit more time poor. So I need to find different ways to get books into this brain. And what I've been doing is reading a hard copy when I get home and listening to audiobooks while I'm at work, which is something that I can do for at least a decent portion of the day. Usually I can get maybe about 2 to 3 hours of audiobook in a day. So that's what I've been doing this month. It's working so far, and it's what I plan to do forever. Or, as long as I enjoy it for. So this month, like I said, we've got 6 books. The first one is the Mistborn Era 2 trilogy. So we've got Alloys of Law, Shadow of Self, and The Bands of Mourning. Now, anybody who knows me knows that I'm a massive fan of Brandon Sanderson's books. I haven't read all of them, but every one that I have has been absolutely awesome. In fact, I don't think there's been a single one that I didn't enjoy. So I have really high hopes for Mistborn Era 2, although I think it would be wise for me to go in with the expectation that it's not going to be the same as the original trilogy, because that was a really epic fantasy, and I just think it's unfair to go in with the same expectations. So I'm going to temper those expectations and just treat it as another adventure. So those are the first 3 books. Very, very exciting. Cannot wait to get stuck into them. And the next one is Neuromancer by William Gibson. Now, William Gibson, for anybody who doesn't know, is actually a really important figure in the science fiction space, as he actually pioneered the subgenre of cyberpunk. So yeah, you better believe I'm looking forward to reading this book, because he seems like he's the king of the castle in the science fiction world, and I'm all about that. And listen to this little glow up on Goodreads about Neuromancer. Hotwired to the leading edges of art and technology, Neuromancer is a cyberpunk science fiction masterpiece, a classic that ranks with 1894 and Brave New World as one of the 20th century's most potent visions of the future. The Matrix is a world within the world, a global consensus hallucination, the representation of every byte of data in cyberspace. Now that gets my juices flowing. The next book that I want to read, and spoiler alert, I actually already have read it, and that is Legendborn by Tracy Deonn. And this is a book that I actually tried to get to in February, and I put it on my February TBR, and I just didn't quite get to it. So, top of the list for March, and it's already under the belt. Legendborn was a really fun YA fantasy, but if you're an adult fantasy reader typically, you might not get as much enjoyment out of it. But if you're a young adult reader, this ticks so many boxes. It's a really, really fun story, told pretty well. It's a contemporary fantasy setting. There's magic secret society, there's magic competitions. This book seriously does tick a lot of boxes, and it was a hell of a ride, especially the last 150 pages. Leading up to the last 50 pages was just fantastic. Wrote me in. Can't wait to see what book 2 has to offer. Now, the next book I want you guys to pick for me. You guys can determine my reading journey, which is something I really look forward to doing on this channel. And I'm going to post it on TikTok as well. So whatever gets the most likes and the most comments and the most interest, I will read that next. And I'm going to give you 3 options, and I'm super keen to read all 3 of them. And by the way, I will do reviews on all the books that I read. So whichever one you pick, I will do a review on it, I promise. So the first one is The 5th Season by N.K. Jemisin, a book that I have heard nothing but good things about. It sounds like a really fascinating and really deep, developed, complex magic system, which is something that I love about a world where we have to survive the elements, and these bad seasons and storms can last generations and even centuries. And I am all about it. The next option is Red Sister, the first book in the Book of the Ancestor trilogy by Mark Lawrence. And this is another one that I've heard amazing things about, although I've heard mixed things about this book. Some people love it, some don't love it. It's a slow start, it's a fun book, the whole spectrum, but it's about murderous nuns. I mean, what? That is something I've never read anything like. That just sounds like a thrill ride. I'm really keen to see that one, so let me know. Number 2, Book of the Ancestor. Book number 1, option number 2. All right, now the last one is Jade City by Fonda Lee, another one that I've heard amazing things about. Almost like it's a mafia book with magic. I mean, I don't need to say any more than that. That sounds incredible. I've heard such great things. It seems like the magic takes the back seat in this story. It's there, but it's not really that prominent, which I would have loved to see more of the magic. I typically love good magic, especially when it's really part of the atmosphere. but this just sounds like a book that is right up my alley, especially because I liked The Lies of Locke Lamora so much. Sounds like a really similar kind of vibe. So there are your three options. The fifth season, Red Sister, and Jade City. You tell me, which one do you want to read? Or I should say, which one do you want me to read? Ladies and gents, that's going to do it from me. Please subscribe to this channel if you want to see more from me in the future. Let's grow this army, this Dan's Books army. And if you enjoyed the video, make sure you give it a thumbs up because it helps this channel more than you realize. I'll catch you next time. See ya!